Hey, it's Edge here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis with Elliott Wave Theory for DJI, or the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index. Today we're going to be focusing on the macro picture and also the very much more local structures over here at the very tip top. But again, let's start with the very high time frame macro picture. So again, the DJI started from the very lows of $21 around the 1890s. So that again has been quite a history of data here for this index. So the idea that we've been gone through before as well has been this one, where we had a wave 1 of Garant supercycle 1 there, and then wave 2 here at the 1930s, and then we would have another 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Again, what we noted was that this fifth wave here was quite large and long, and that is something that is very typical for commodities. We'll see how that is going to be translating later onto these counts, but again, that is something that is common here on smaller timeframes as well on DJI. The main idea again was that, is it this one? Yeah. If we are looking at closer, that this was a wave 1 again. These are the lows of March 2009 already, and then we would have this as a 1, 2, and another 1, 2 here, 3, 4 and extended fifth. Again, inside here we would be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty okay looking structure, not really too focused on that. One big drop that we have here is this one, and we could argue that we could have this as an A, B and C. Let's see actually if that is possible. Wave B, yeah, it is possible. You could put it over there and not have this as a wave 4. It is possible, I think, but then we would have to move this wave 4 over to the next low here to get some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not the best look, to be honest, but yeah, I think it's doable either way around. Wave 4 being here is still the idea. There is of course a possibility where this was some kind of wave 1 here and 2, because again this is very deep on RSI as well. Even on the weekly time frame here, we could be seeing that it is actually 1932, and this is 1900. So that is still fine in the cycle point of view, where this is the cycle low, and we have not taken out that yet. So we still have the potential of having this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5 here. So yeah, that is still possible. And that is still the main idea that I showed you before as well. Now if we turn into the daily time frame, previous again was weekly, we are seeing that we have two different options here. This is not the main count here. In this one we would have saying that this would be a wave 1 and wave 2. We did retrace quite a bit here. However, we have already taken out these lows here on daily already. So this is why I don't really like this as a primary, just from the RSI cycle point of view. Then wave 1 up top here, again 1, 2, 1, 2. We're taking out that low, don't like it, so that's why I do prefer the other idea, which is the idea where we have a wave 1 at these tops. The issue with this one again is that wave 1 has taken quite a bit longer than this wave 1 here, which is again higher degree, so it doesn't really fit too well into the ideology. So this is the primary view, where we would have this as a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into third, fourth and fifth. Not the best substructures here on some of these structures, but again, that's what I got here at the moment. We have yet to take out the lows here of this cycle, and we are still keeping them intact. So again, I do think that we are still going to come lower. We have not yet even tagged the 38.2 retracement of this first leg here, with this potential second wave coming down. So there is still quite a bit of correcting down to do here. Let's see if we have any volume data here on this chart. No, we don't. But yeah, most likely some area like here had quite a bit of volume, because again, the previous highs we had acting as a resistance, and that's where we had these lows as well established right into these highs here, and yeah, pivoted upwards. But that is that. I'm still expecting more downside. That's that's that, and it's quite simple in my opinion. So next structure is the structures from the highs here. Let's actually change the charts to the indices one, or the futures chart one, where we are actually tracking these more. And in this one, again, I had it already pulled up, but the idea is that we had this as a three-way structure into a wave W, three ways into X. I'm not saying this is perfect impulse here by any means, but again, it is what it is. It still looks like a five-way structure. Wave 4 is kind of large here, but that's what you get sometimes. Then we would have this as a wave A, B, and C. This last leg looks definitely like a five-wave structure, and we have to fiddle around a bit to get this into being a diagonal. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It looks decent, not the perfect. It is more like a channel than a contracting diagonal, but that's that. So overall idea in this one is that we had a three-way structure ending at these lows. This is where we would put our wave W or wave B at. So higher time frame, we would be having this as that structure here as a intermediate. Then we would start a new structure. Again, we had a very much lower low here. We would start a new structure here on A, three-way pullback into that wave B. And as we have taken out the lows of this origin of wave A, we are looking at the most probable solution, which would be a C wave, which is again a five-way structure. This is the only indice where we had not taken out these lows here, giving us the possibility of not having this as an ABC, but instead having this as the start of something. And that is how I've rolled with this count. There is definitely a possibility where you could be saying that, okay, this is still part of that C wave. We could be rolling with that, saying that we have something like that. That is fine as well. It might change the dynamics here a bit, where you'd be having this wave 1 at these highs and this lower degree wave 1 at these highs, and then we would have that 1 2 1 2 setup. However, again on RSI, this low here of this structure is on a lower area here on RSI. I would not really like to have this as a 1 2 here on higher degree, this one. Hopefully that makes some sense. Then after that point, again, we would be having this as the third wave, fourth wave, and then this as a 1 2 3 4 5. It is very scuffed looking. Not really I can do anything about it at the moment. I feel like there is multiple ways of interpreting this this DOW structure at the moment. This is just one of them. I do kind of like that this is still somewhat okay looking. The wave 3 and 4, the 4 and 5 are very small though, and not very comparable. I was trying to get some kind of ABC in here to get an establishment for some kind of a diagonal here. However, again, with these lows of 30th of November, again, we're making more of a channel than anything of a diagonal look. So that's why I do have the high of wave 5 here put in place. We already have to note that we have divergences from the third of third here. So third of third at these very highs, which is again typical. And that is where we are going to be pivoting our RSI trend line from. Next to the next peaks, and these are respecting it as well. At the moment, I've labeled this as a three-way structure like so into that wave 4, because again, we have this as the RSI low here from here. So that would be the three-way structure. And then again, we would be looking either this as the fifth wave, completing the whole thing, or this would be a wave 1 of that fifth. At the moment, I've labeled it as a first wave, because again, on higher time frame, we did not take out the lows. On smaller time frame, we did take out the lows, which is more of a bearish sign in my opinion. I am still on the short side on Nasdaq and S&P 500, although we did climb this basically whole drop that we had on Friday back. So I think I managed to get both of them at the very highs here. We'll see how those turns out. Again, not really got too tight of a stop loss, but there is definitely a possibility where this is rising higher. Again, this is very three-wave looking structure on all of these. They do measure very correctively, and we are like pretty much perfect on one-to-one here on DOW as well. So that is not really enforcing that idea of that this whole thing would be finished, in my opinion, as of yet. So possible way to in here and then higher. Unlike in the other indices, DOW made a new low here. On the other ones, I think we had a possibility for this to be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In here we have to be saying that we have this as the low, and this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not a perfect look, but again, that is what we're going to deal with. But I think that is going to leave us with the possible third, fourth, and fifth, and then we would be turning our heads downwards again. Depends on how high we are going to get. We are either expecting a three-way structure or a five-way structure. The ideal area for me is either pivot before 35.7k, and that would be the wave X. At that point, again, I would not really, let's actually check out the extensions roughly here. So wave 3, 35.7 again actually already takes out that target of 85.4% retracement of this wave W here. So that would mean that instead of this being a wave W, this would be more like a wave E, and this would be wave B and then C downwards. Again, that C would be a five-way structure instead of this wave Y, which would be a three-way structure. So different expectations on this higher time frame structure. Again, the overall expectation is still downwards on both these, and depending on where we would be looking at, one-to-one would be getting right back into these lows that we had, and most likely we should be targeting anywhere from 27.2 to 25k. That would be the main area of interest, in my opinion, if again we pivot right there. If we go any higher, then we're just going to need to adjust these targets a bit, and depending on that, we'll look for other areas or other targets. But I think that is going to do it for the video on DOW. If you made it this far into the video, again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next video. Bye bye.